Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video. This week we're going to do something very tiny. We are going to be making a tiny little clay dragon that's clutching onto this tiny little potion bottle. I mean, isn't it adorable? The idea with this one is that I've got this little potion bottle that I got at Action for like 60 cents. So I'm going to make a little dragon with air drying clay that wraps itself around it, curling on, holding onto the bottle, guarding its treasure. Let's decide what this thing is going to look like.
Und pencil und eraser. Okay.
So the bottle is this really cute round shape. So I'm thinking I don't want it to block the cork. I want to still be able to put something inside.
Head, round, and there.
Yes, it's a sleeping dragon. Okay, I like that. So something like this, where you've got the head at the front of the bottle, then the body wraps around with the tail swirling, and then wings that probably start somewhere over here at the back and then wrap around as well. I need to see whether I'm going to give it legs or not. If it's getting legs, then they're going to be tucked in under, like as if it's sleeping. So I got this little clump of clay. I think that should be enough considering how tiny this bottle is. Something like that. I'm not quite sure if air drying clay is going to be the right call because this stuff dries really fast. It gets brittle quite quickly. Maybe I'm going to have to end up doing this in polymer clay. I'm going to see if I can make it work. So it's sitting on there, it's cracking over here. One of the things that I struggle with right now is because I'm starting a YouTube channel and I don't really have like a following yet, I get really nervous about doing smaller projects like this because I think people might not want to watch a video where I make just a tiny little dragon. I just get a little bit nervous about that people won't want to watch a smaller scaled project, and that therefore I only get to do big things, which at the moment I just don't really have the time for. I'm about to start college, I'm about to move to England. I'm afraid that I get so focused on doing all these big projects that, you know, I end up having to quit YouTube because it's not sustainable. I think I need to give myself some grace in it as well. It's still a balance that I need to find. How I need to approach this, whether I need to always go for the big and dramatic or whether sometimes something small in between is also okay. And I am planning some bigger projects, absolutely, but those I need to spread out over a longer period of time. I need to just be smart with my time because I don't want to end up prioritizing this over school and over mental health and that kind of stuff. What I'm doing now is I'm just adding some scales at the back, and I'm using water to smooth out the edges and to also bind them. So I make a little scale, dip it in a little bit of water, and then stick it on top, and the water, it sort of activates the clay a bit more. Slowly becomes a dragon. And I also add a little bit of water on the body itself. I do that once every now and then just to keep it soft so it doesn't start drying out already. I just move the head down slightly, and that way I can reach the neck when I go over it and paint. I am slightly surprised that it's actually sticking to the bottle. Of course, the moment that the glue dried, all of the clay let go of the glass, so apparently it didn't work.
How do I add the wings. No idea if that's gonna hold, but I think it kind of works. Need to go slightly more forward, like there. I've added a little thingy at its tail and some grooves in there. I sketched in some texture on the wings. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I think with the paint job I can always cover it up basically. The only thing that I'm still contemplating is whether I want to add some horns on its head. I think the horns on there look cute like that, but I think it's too fragile. Yeah, no, I think they stick out too much and are too thin and too small of a connection point especially. I don't think that's going to survive. So I think pretty much now it's just waiting time to let it dry. And then once it's dry, I can paint it and make it all pretty and everything.
So it's the next morning, and it's not dry yet.
I found out that I can take it off, that these stay on. I don't know if these are going to remain suction to this, or that once they dry they fall off. Inside, where it was touching the glass, it's still slightly wet.
It's not supposed to happen. I'm not a fan of air drying clay. I think for some things it's good. For this kind of thing, I should have probably used polymer clay, but because I have a shoulder injury and I didn't want to work with polymer clay because it tends to seize up my shoulder a bit, so we're gonna have to make this work. I might end up having to use some hot glue. For now, this thing is gonna get a little terrarium inside, a fake one, so I need to figure out how I'm gonna make that, put that in there, and then while I'm doing that, hopefully the dragon will dry and I can like paint it and then assemble it. For the little terrarium on the inside, I've got this IKEA plant that I bought secondhand at some point. I've got 2 of them. So I thought I could chop up some of the smaller pieces and use that as little plants on the inside. I also just have some dirt. I'm pretty sure I also still have some little like grass flakes, fake plastic grass flakes from another project. I also want to add some kind of gem on the inside. I want to see if I just have a random gem lying around, like from an old necklace or something. And otherwise I might make one out of clay or out of foam. I found these 2. I seriously don't know where I got these from, but I have them, so I need to see how the terrarium looks together, like when it's all put together, and then see whether I prefer the pink one or the white one.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this dirt and then mix in some wood glue and then put that inside as the base. And then I can stick these in and it should all set solid as one. At least that's what I'm hoping. So, hey, I've never tried this before, but in theory, I think it should work. I think this should work. I'm not sure whether I want to use the white one or the pink one, because I think it kind of depends on how the glue dries. If the glue dries still having a little bit of a white sheen to it, then I think I want to use the pink one because it'll stand out more. But if it doesn't, I think I prefer the white one. I think I'm going to go with the white one and just hope that this dries sort of like that and less like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some glue in there and then drop this on top, because I don't think if I put glue on this and try to then maneuver it around the greenery, then it's going to get glue all over that.
moment I added the brown paint, I knew I didn't like it, so I then had to cover it up with layers and layers of paint.
Now that all the elements are painted, I can start assembling it. So the head fell apart. It sort of split. I've added a layer of wood glue over the entire thing. It gives it a little bit of a shine to it, making it look almost a bit like porcelain, but it also seals everything together. Dries pretty much see-through. So it starts out like that and it ends up sort of like that, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna need to let this dry. I didn't want to add the little tail wings to it yet because I think I need to add that when I put all of it together onto the glass. But I first want all of this to dry. I think for today I'm just gonna leave it at this, let this dry properly, and then tomorrow I can glue it all together, and then by then the PVA glue in here will also be dry, which means that I can also shoot the reveal. I'll see you tomorrow. I was planning to film the process of placing it on there, but I just wanted to see whether it fit and how it was fitting, and now it's stuck on there. It fits on there perfectly, which means that I can now, well, I could probably take it off, but I don't want to risk anything breaking. So, with everything put together, it is time for the final reveal. It is super cute. I love it. I think the blue effect on top of the clay made it look almost like porcelain, and I think it looks so cool. The only thing that I think might be a bit of a problem is the glue combined with the soil. It left a white cast on there, and I'm not sure whether that's just because that's what it's going to stay like, or whether it's not quite dry yet. I don't know what's happening. It was an experiment. It didn't quite work. So for now, I'm going to display it without the cork on there. That way, if there is still any drying that needs to be done, it can happen without the cork holding all the air in and holding all the moisture in. Hopefully it won't start molding. I mean, how cute is it? I love it. He's so cute. The paint job is not perfect. The layer of glue on top, it trapped a little bit of dust in there, which is not perfect. There's some little weird nicks in there. It is definitely not the best project I've ever made. It's definitely not the most well executed project ever, but I do think it's really cute, and I do really love him. And the wings, and it, yeah, I do think it looks really cool. Get out of the way, my friend. That's more in the way, my friend. Whoa. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. I sincerely enjoyed making this project. I know it wasn't as elaborate as the previous one, but I hope you still liked watching it. Please like and subscribe and comment down below what videos you want to see me do next. I upload every other Sunday, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, that didn't work. Sort of joins them together. Don't focus on me, please. There we go. I don't know. I'm really tired. You don't know it works. Okay. Product. I'm going really fast now. Wow!
Ah! What you gotta do to make the video.